Exodus 19. In the 3rd month after Israel went out from the land of Egypt, on the very day they came to the desert of Sinai. After they journeyed from Rephidim, they came to the desert of Sinai, and they camped in the desert. Israel camped in front of the mountain. Moses went up to God, and the Lord called to him from the mountain. Thus you will tell the house of Jacob and declare to the people of Israel, you yourself have seen what I did in Egypt and how I lifted you on eagle's wings and brought you to myself. And now, if you will diligently listen to me and keep my covenant, then you will be my special possession out of all the nations from all the earth, for all the earth is mine. And you will be to me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words that you will speak to Israel. So Moses came and summoned the elders of Israel. He set before them all the words the Lord had commanded him. And all the people answered together, all that the Lord has commanded we will do. So Moses brought the words of the people back to the Lord. The Lord said to Moses, I am going to come to you in a dense cloud, so the people may hear when I speak with you, and so they will always believe in you. And Moses told the words of the people to the Lord. The Lord said to Moses, go to the people and sanctify them today and tomorrow, and make them wash their clothes, and be ready for the 3rd day. The Lord will come down on Mount Sinai in the sight of all of the people. You must set boundaries for the people all around. Take heed for yourself not to go up to the mountain nor touch its edge. Whoever touches the mountain will surely be put to death. No hands will touch him, but he will surely be stoned or shot through, whether a beast or a human being. He must not live. When the ram's horn sounds a long blast, they may go up on the mountain. Then Moses went down from the mountain to the people and sanctified the people, and they washed their clothes. He said to the people, be ready for the 3rd day. Do not approach your wives for marital relations. On the 3rd day, in the morning, there was thunder and lightning and dense cloud on the mountain, and the sound of a very loud horn. All the people who were in the camp trembled. Moses brought the people out of the camp to meet God, and they took their place at the foot of the mountain. Now Mount Sinai was completely covered with smoke, because the Lord had descended on it in fire, and its smoke went up like smoke of a great furnace, and the whole mountain shook violently. When the sound of a great horn grew louder and louder, Moses was speaking, and God was answering him with a voice. The Lord came down on Mount Sinai on the top of the mountain, and the Lord summoned Moses to the top of the mountain, and Moses went up. And the Lord said to Moses, go down and solemnly warn the people, lest they force their way through to the Lord to look, and many of them perish. Let the priest also who approach the Lord sanctify themselves, lest the Lord break through against them. Moses said to the Lord, the people are not able to come up to Mount Sinai because of my solemnly warned us. Set boundaries for the mountain and set it apart. The Lord said to him, go, get down, and then come up, and Aaron with you, and do not let the priest and the people force their way through to come up to the Lord, lest he breaks through against them. So Moses went down to the people and spoke with them. Not a lot to say, I think, in this one. So we're now in the 3rd month. So we had them stop in the 2nd month. Now they've moved on, and they are finally at Mount Sinai. They came to the desert of Sinai after they journeyed from Rephidim, and they came to Sinai, and they camped in the desert. Israel camped in front of the mountain. Moses went up to God, and the Lord called to him from the mountain. Thus you will tell the house of Jacob and declare to Israel, you yourself have seen what I did in Egypt, how I lifted you on eagle's wings and brought you to myself. And now, If you diligently listen to me and keep my covenant, then you will be my special possession out of all the nations, for all the earth is mine, and you will be to me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words that you will speak to the Israelites. So I brought you here, and here's the proposal. You are going to be a kingdom of priests, means that the kingdom is made of priests. These are 4 possible renderings of this expression. Kings, that is priests, as a construct of genitive royal priesthood, as a construct of priestly kingdom, priestly kingdom, reading with an unexpressed, and kings and priests. I don't like that last one, kings and priests. No, kingdom of priests is I think it makes sense there. And a holy nation. Holy nation is a nation that is set apart. So a nation that's separate, distinct. So the role of the people are to be priests. If you are a kingdom of priests, who are you going to be priests to? The other nations. If you are a holy nation, you are the one set apart. You are set apart for the example of all the other nations. So God is keep my covenant. So he is proposing a covenant, a special possession of all the nations. You are going to do that. So, hey, here are the words. And Moses summoned the elders of Israel, set before them all the words of the Lord had commanded. And all the people answered together, all the Lord has commanded, we will do. So we are willing to do, or we will do. So we're willing to be this. We are willing to be set apart. We are willing to be a nation, a kingdom of priests. Okay. Prove it, because they're not gonna. It's not going to work out. The Lord said to Moses, I'm going to come to you and descend in a cloud so the people may hear when I speak to you. And so they will always believe in you. So God is going to do this partially so that no one will ever doubt Moses. I am going to demonstrate myself with you in such a way that no one can ever doubt that Moses is the one who should be leading the people, except they will. The Lord said to Moses, go to the people and sanctify them today and tomorrow, and make them wash their clothes and be ready for the third day. For the third day, the Lord will come down on Mount Sinai in the sight of the people. You must set boundaries for the people all around, saying, take heed for yourself not to go up and touch the edge of the mountain, or you will be put to death. So we've got a couple things going on. We have sanctify. So setting apart yourself, washing yourself, preparing yourself for this. So you are, and this is ritual cleanness, okay? So this is the process of the normal things of life. There are certain normal things of life that don't belong in the presence of God. That is one way to say it. So you clean yourself up from those things, and you set yourself apart for a period of time before you're going to come into the presence of God. So clothing being washed is one of those, to get all of the dust, all of everything off of everything that you've touched and come into contact with. We don't have the rules of what those things are yet, but we do get one of those things is abstaining from marital relations. So that's one of those things you're not going to do for this time of preparation. You set that apart. We don't have any blood issue here mentioned yet, but maybe it's understood, and it's just not listed here because it wasn't important, but maybe it was understood, and they're also including that. But God is going to show up on the third day in the sight of the people. So you are to set apart yourself for the next 2 days, and then God will show up. But also there's a warning of don't go on the mountain. No hand will touch him, but he will surely be stoned or shot through, whether by beast or human, whether a beast or a human being. So even animals need to be kept off the mountain. When God's presence shows up, his presence is so powerful that life can be extinguished if not in the proper preparatory way of coming to him. He must not live. So going to be stoned, going to be shot through, whatever it is, violation of this is going to result in death. When the ram's horn sounds a long blast, they may go up on the mountain. So it sounds like no one can go, but now we have the nuance here is permissive, imperfect. They may go up. The ram's horn sound blast to announce the revelation period was over and is permitted then to ascend the mountain. So you've got a period of you can't come up on the mountain, and then there'll be a horn blast, and you know it's over. Then Moses went down from the people, sanctified the people. He is setting them apart. They washed their clothes. They're doing those things. And they said to the people, be ready on the third day. Do not approach your wives for marital relations. So that wasn't given in the instructions above, but it is added here. Okay, Jacob notes that as the people were to approach him, they were not to lose themselves in earthly love. Such separations prepared the people to meet God. Sinai was like a bride, forbidden to anyone else. Abstinence was the spiritual preparation for the coming into the presence of the Holy One. Do not approach a woman. The phrase approach is an idiom. Yes, well, that's enough that we need to say on now. So, I don't know if it implies the love aspect there, because the love was not a necessity for marital relationship. You did not have to love your spouse. That was not a prerequisite. I think that's reading our culture back into it to say it's putting aside earthly love. I don't think that's what that is, because we have other things that body fluids are that way. Men who are preparing to, it was a repeated thing. So I don't think it has to do with love. Maybe it has to do with passions that you have of things that take over you, but to exhibit love for a spouse, I don't think that's, like earthly love, I don't think that's what's in mind there. On the third day, in the morning, there was thunder and lightning and dense cloud on the mountain and the sound of a loud horn. The word shofar normally would be horn. The word is used especially to announce something important to the public, the previous word in the context. So here's what's a little confusing. Like, you're to stay off the mountain until the horn blast. Well, here the mountain, or the lightning and thunder and smoke show up, and there's a loud horn blast. Okay, is this marking the start? That's what it seems to be. And then later, there might be one at the end. Or was this just a way of the one earlier was supposed to be the start and not that you can go up, and we read it backwards in the Hebrew? Let's see if there's a second one. Let's see if there's a second one when we get to the end, finally. Moses brought the people of the camp to meet God, and they took their place at the foot of the mountain. Now Mount Sinai was completely covered in smoke, and the Lord had descended on it in fire, and its smoke went up like the great smoke furnace, and the whole mountain shook violently. When the sound of the horn grew louder and louder, Moses was speaking, and God was answering him with a voice. So here the trumpet became louder continually. Moses is speaking. The two verbs spoke and answered, so they're just putting one. And God answered with a voice, and it could mean in thunder, since voice was used for thunder. So this could be, and he answered him in thunder, repeating thunder, where the voice of God, but now it is that an answer, says the people. Okay. Anyway. Thunder is happening. It's louder and louder. It's God speaking. You have a horn that's louder and louder, but you can't go up the mountain. And it's kind of terrifying, so why would you? Why would you want to? The Lord came down on Mount Sinai on the top of the mountain, and the Lord summoned Moses to the top of the mountain, and Moses went up. The Lord said to Moses, go down and solemnly warn the people, lest they force their way through to look to the Lord, to look, and many perish. Let the priest also who approach the Lord sanctify themselves, lest the Lord break through against them. So Moses goes up. God says, hey, go tell them again, don't come up. Like, you know how these people are. We tell them, don't go out and collect more than you're supposed to for the day. And they do. And then, hey, don't go out on the Sabbath day because there won't be anything. And so, don't go out. And they do. So, we're going to go tell them again. We're going to go tell them again. And then he says, let the priest who approach the Lord sanctify themselves, lest they break through. We don't have any instructions that priests were going to be coming up here. Now it sounds like not just Moses, but some priests are going to be, or priests who will later. Let the priests who approach the Lord sanctify themselves. So is this his instructions for later? Or are they coming now? Not quite sure. So Moses said to the people are not able to come up on Mount Sinai because you solemnly warned us, set boundaries for the mountain and set it apart. So now the mountain is being set apart. So the mountain is being sanctified. It is being separated out from regular space to be set apart space. The Lord said to him, go get down and then come up, and Aaron with you, and do not let priest and the people force their way through to come up to the Lord, lest he breaks through against them. So he talked about sanctifying the priest, and Aaron's coming up now, but don't let the priest and the people force their way through. So it sounds like the priest might be the enforcers of don't let anyone come up the mountain. So Moses went down to the people and spoke to them. So Moses gets the instructions on the mountain. Now he's going to go down to give the instructions. So we've got this relay going back and forth. The people can hear God's presence in the thunder, in the horn blast, that God is there talking to Moses. So we know what's going on and, not planning